What's going on, my E-Unit? My Enigma Unit Nation. It's your boy, the heavyweight champ, Maverick, the Enigma McLaurin, back at you with another tier list video. Happy tier list Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Today's tier list Tuesday. We're gonna go ahead and dive right into this. This time it ain't gonna be TV show related. It's not gonna be sitcom related. It's gonna be my favorite thing to talk about. Games, baby. Game related. And when I slide down, and judging from the name of the toppest tier, you'll know what game I'm talking about. Mortal Kombat! Anywho. So, before I get into ranking the games, let's go from bottom to top on how I rank them by a tier. We have trash. I think that's self-explanatory. The game sucked. The game just straight up sucked. No replayability. No even playability. The game is so bad. No. Now, mediocre. We have mediocre. It wasn't trash, but at the same time, it wasn't that good. It has some good qualities, but lacked any replayability whatsoever. And we had dope. Like, the game's great. There's some replayability there. There's few drawbacks, few setbacks, you know what I'm saying? Couple of scratches, but it's still a good game. We have fire, meaning the game was awesome, amazing, but it wasn't necessarily cream of the crop material. And then we have flawless, meaning the game's perfect the way it is. Nothing should be changed about it. Nothing should be changed. Sorry. We're going to get right into it. What's the first game? MK2. MK2. A lot of y'all will put this in flawless. But here's the thing. I'm not the biggest fan out of all the older games. Because you'll know the only one I actually really like the further you go down into the video, but for the time being, Mortal Kombat 2 was fire. Every character had 2 fatalities. There was 12 characters you could pick from in total. You could pick Shang Tsung for the first time. Then you can fight 3 secret bosses. You know what I'm saying? My only strike against this game is in the arcade version, the computer learns everything you do. And that makes the job to beat the damn game so much more frustrating than it already is. Man, the computer cheats. But let's continue. MK Mythology Sub-Zero. I have a friend that likes this game very much, but me, I didn't like it. It was trash. The controls sucked. You had to literally press a button to turn yourself around when you couldn't just press the directional button wherever you wanted to go to turn around the opposite way from when your character was facing. The more you played the game, the more you had to unlock his moves like the ice ball and the Lin Kuei slide. Oh man, just dumb. The ice puck, man, just dumb. The game is just dumb. Deadly Alliance. Deadly Alliance was dope. I liked it. Conquest mode could have been better, but it was their first time trotting out, you know what I'm saying, on actual 3D, because 4 is 2.5D. It has 3D graphics with 2D kind of gameplay. That's what 4 is. Deadly Alliance, you have full, complete, rotating 3D gameplay. You can sidestep your opponent and the stage will shift. That's how good the gameplay is. Plus, it also introduced proper weapon combat without having to do too much to input a weapon. It was just a push of a button, and your character had 2 non-lethal weapon fighting styles and 1 lethal weapon fighting style. You know what I'm saying? My only strikes against this game is the conquest mode and some of the fatalities. Some of the fatalities were whack. Like the Quan Chi neck stretch, that shit was whack. That was whack. Now its sequel Deception, on the other hand. Deception. I might make some of y'all mad. A lot of y'all thought this was flawless. Me, I thought it was fire. It was fire. Deception is not a bad game whatsoever. I'm gonna put that ahead of Mortal Kombat 2 though, because I'll take Deception over Mortal Kombat 2 any day. No cap. Yeah, there we go. I'll take Deception over Mortal Kombat 2 any day. But yeah, man, that's Deception had one of the best intros, like no cap. Raiden fighting the Deadly Alliance, the Shang Tsung, Quan Chi. Then after Raiden gets his ass handed to him, you have Shang Tsung and Quan Chi fighting each other, and then Onaga comes out of nowhere on his old I'm kind of reclaim my throne type shit, and then all three of them end up teaming up to try to beat him, and the projectiles just don't work. The projectiles just don't work. They try to really best Onaga, and then freaking Onaga just walks through that, and then Raiden commits harakiri and kills the Deadly Alliance and himself. But Onaga just stands up from the flames like nothing happened from the explosion. That like nothing happened, bro. It was hilarious. This game had chess combat. The Conquest mode was very well polished from what Deadly Alliance gave us. Very good storyline. You know what I'm saying? It really gives Mortal Kombat Deception its name, because the storyline is based around deception. And then furthermore, my only gripes, some of the fatalities did kind of suck. The Puzzle Fighter 2 thing, rip-off, puzzle combat, I didn't really like that. I did like chess combat though. Chess combat was fire. And on top of that, they had Noob Smoke. Noob Smoke. Most deadliest tag team in Mortal Kombat history. But anyway, I'm about to make a lot of y'all mad with this one too. I didn't like Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe at all. It is not the worst, which is why I'm putting it ahead of Mythology Sub-Zero. It is not the worst, but I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it. Personally, I think Marvel has better matchups. You know what I'm saying? And plus, oh my god, there's hardly any blood in the game. You cannot make a Mortal Kombat game without any blood. That's just a sin. That's just like what happened to Bloody Roar when Primal Fury came out. Just know. Mortal Kombat 4, a lot of people like it. Some people hate it. Me, I'm in the middle. Like, I didn't hate it, but at the same time, I didn't like it that much. It has some good memories. You know what I'm saying? No cap. You know what I'm saying? I can never forget how iconic the fatality was when Scorpion turned into an actual Scorpion, and then Liu Kang freaking threw you to the screen and shot you with a fireball, and Quan Chi pulled off your leg and beat your ass to death with it. Those fatalities were actually kind of fire. But you know, the 3D gameplay could have been better polished. The graphics could have been better polished. The endings had terrible voice acting. like, let's be serious, man. Especially Jax's voice acting in his ending is so bad. Him and Jerry's voice acting are so bad. It is laughable. Other than that, I wasn't too big on Mortal Kombat 4. Oh, but there's also a funny takeaway. It's the gibberish that gets spoken. Yeah, but over here about that. Mortal Kombat 3. Mortal Kombat 3. You know what? I would put it in fire, but because it didn't have Scorpion in it, it just goes to dope. It just goes to dope. The run system mechanic was wonderful. You know what I'm saying? Roster was pretty doggone loaded. Motaro was a tough SOB to beat. Fatalities were straight. You know what I'm saying? The stages and the music was great. You know what I'm saying? It was fun. I like Mortal Kombat 3. Let me see. I think we have our first flawless game. A lot of y'all gonna hate me for this. A lot of y'all are gonna hate me for this. But whoops. Mortal Kombat XL was fire. Mortal Kombat X was fire. But you know what? It's above fire. It's flawless. I had to put it in flawless because the gameplay speed was accurate. You know what I'm saying? It didn't feel as slow as its predecessor, which I'll get to in a bit. The fatalities felt polished, more gory. The brutalities were amazing. The story wasn't very great, but it was still good and enjoyable to watch because everybody acted within their character. Like I found it unsatisfying when Katsuki Cage was the one to beat Shinnok. It should have been Johnny, but Johnny got captured. I don't know why they did that. I guess they were trying to promote the Kombat kids to us. Excuse me. But yeah, all in all, Mortal Kombat X, outstanding game. Fantastic. Oh yeah, the crit mode was pretty good in this too. But anyway. Tournament edition, I haven't played it because I wasn't big on buying Game Boy games like that. So I'm gonna skip that one. Gold was just like 4, but better. Not very great, but not trash either. You know what I'm saying? MK9, fire. Like complete fire. Actually, I'll put it ahead of Deception, because some of the characters' gameplay, it felt a little slow. Not gonna lie. For his first time trotting out at the DC universe, some of the characters felt slow. Other characters were just fast. You know, it wasn't much power scaling going on. Some parts of the storyline I really didn't like Sindel just bodying everybody like that. I didn't get that. Then Raiden accidentally killing Liu Kang, I didn't get that. And then dude, the whole story, it was hard to follow. It was still fun to play, no cap, but it was hard to follow at some points. I don't get how Noob is in the game, but in the story he gets turned into Cyber Sub-Zero. I don't get that at all. But let's keep moving forward. Shaolin Monks. It is the best Mortal Kombat spin-off game, but it has its issues, so for a spin-off, it is the best of the spin-offs. I'm gonna have to put it in flawless, man. I'm gonna have to put it in flawless. Like, you could literally, there's so much stuff you could do in this game. High replayability. So much things you can unlock. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the games from Mortal Kombat I'll always go back to, regardless of how long it's been, regardless of, you know what I'm saying, how you know much it's been collecting dust in my collection. I'll still always go back to this game. The first Mortal Kombat, not gonna lie to y'all, it was mediocre. And I only say that because, you know, there's a lack of roster depth. There's only 7 characters to really pick from. And each of them only had 1 fatality. It was a good precursor for what it set to what the series was eventually be going to come. But I don't think it was that good. Now I'm about to take a lot of y'all off with this one. I'm one of the one. A lot of y'all think Armageddon is bad. Some of y'all think it's just okay. Me. Armageddon goes in flawless. Okay, first of all, Motor Combat. Second of all, if you got a special edition, a copy of the game, you get a free copy of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on the disc. Come on, man. You can't go wrong with having 2 games in one like that. 3 games if you count Motor Combat. The crypt was the best crypt out of all the games because you could just purchase stuff. You know what I'm saying? You go in there, purchase concept art, purchase more costumes, purchase characters. And then the game also had the best conquest mode. Taven was amazing. The reason why I have MK9 and Fire is because they forgot all about Taven and Dagon, and they didn't show anything about Blaze getting his ass kicked by I don't know whom. I know it was just Raiden and Shao Kahn at the end of the doggone War of Armageddon, just fighting atop the pyramid. It doesn't tell you who actually beat Blaze, and it doesn't tell you how the hell he beat Onaga, because in the intro to Armageddon, Onaga carried off Shao Kahn somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You know, not gonna lie, Khan was just hammering away. You know what I'm saying? During this Armageddon intro. The Armageddon intro is the best intro in the series, hands down. Where everybody's just going at it, performing fatalities on each other. You have Liu Kang as a zombie coming back from the dead to fight Shang Tsung. Bruh. Classic. 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 Now, everybody gives it crack because of creative fatality. I thought it was pretty innovative. I thought they could take it another step further. I didn't really mind it. I know it was poorly executed, but it's not really that bad of a strike. It also is the only Mortal Kombat game where you're allowed to create your own fighter. Like, seriously. Like, the creative fighter opened up the realm for so much imagination. There's so many videos on YouTube where you can just find people creating fighters. Me, I create fighters. I have a Mortal Kombat versus Marvel series here on YouTube where I use Armageddon as a template. Just take time out. You know what I'm saying? Take time out, have fun. You know what I'm saying? And plus, it has the greatest roster depth, like, ever. I think it has like over almost 70 something characters, 60 something characters. There's two versions of Chameleon. There's a male version and a female version. The female version is only playable on the Wii, but I didn't like the Wii version. I always stuck with the PS2 version. But yeah, all in all, everybody from every Mortal Kombat before Armageddon appeared in Armageddon, including Kai, who was trash in 4. Reiko, you know what I'm saying? Everybody from Deception that you liked, including Hotaru and Dairu and Darius and Korba, even though everybody hates Korba because he's a ripoff of Ken from Street Fighter. But yeah, MK Armageddon, greatest Mortal Kombat game of all time. Next up, Trilogy. Is this Ultimate Trilogy? Or just regular Trilogy? Because if it's Ultimate Trilogy, it's going to mediocre. It's mediocre. It's mediocre. Now, here's why I say it's mediocre. Some of the game speed from its predecessor got slowed down a bit. And then, you know, if it's Ultimate Trilogy, if this is Ultimate Mortal Kombat Trilogy, this is not, I mean, it has great roster depth, but the graphics were terrible. The execution was off. Some of the fatalities were off. Just no. Just no. Special Forces, worst game ever. Don't ever play this game. Worst game ever in the series. Period. Point blank. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. This is actually my favorite out of all the old games. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 was flawless. Let's just keep it a buck. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 was flawless. I kind of wish PSN would have picked it up, but I think you had it if you had the Mortal Kombat Arcade Collection. I think you'd get through that and still have online play, because the online play for it on that and Xbox Live Arcade, phenomenal. Yeah, so the gameplay was faster. There were brand new stages. This game also has the best soundtrack. You know what I'm saying? It's this game and Mortal Kombat 2, and then Shaolin Monks has the best soundtrack out of all the Mortal Kombat games. Hands down. MK11. I wouldn't exactly put it above X in terms of gameplay, but it does have a way better executed story. And I felt like some of the characters got nerfed by not having a base amount of move sets. So I will put it in fire. Mortal Kombat 11 was fire. Hands down. Hands down. And the last game is Trilogy for the PlayStation, Mortal Kombat Trilogy. It was dope. It was dope. You know what I'm saying? The gameplay is pretty much Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. A tad slower, still had the same graphics, still had the same fatalities. You could choose certain versions of characters, like you could choose the MK2 version of Kung Lao or the MK3 version. You could choose the MK1 version of Raiden or the MK2 version. MK1 version of Kano, MK2 version of Kano. Vice versa. This, that, other, bit about. it was kind of a precursor to what Armageddon would eventually be by including everybody that became a part of the series at that point. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that was a part of the series at that point, up to that point, from the first game all the way to Ultimate 3. You know what I'm saying? Including new characters like Ray, Noob Saibot, and for the first time you were able to play as Goro. You were also able to play as Kentaro and Shao Kahn and Motaro. Think about it. The opportunities in these games were endless. So yeah, that's it. That's it for my tiers. Let's run them down again. We have Flawless, which is Armageddon, MKX, Shaolin Monks, Ultimate 3, Fire, MK11, MK9, Deception, MK2, Deadly Alliance for Dope, MK3, and MK Trilogy. Matter of fact, I'm put above MK3. There we go. MK Trilogy and MK3. Mediocre, we have Gold for Ultimate Trilogy, MK1. I'm sorry, Gold, MK4, MK1, Ultimate Trilogy. Trash, MK vs. DC, Sub-Zero, Mythologies, Special Forces. So yeah, that's it for this tier list video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Holla back to your boy. Join the E-Unit. Don't forget to follow my Instagram, link in the description down below. And I'll see you guys later for another Tier List Tuesday. Deuces.